else do I need? Those, that's for sure. I need some of those. Let's see, what else? Those. What is going on, everybody? Okay. Let's see here. Let me just share the link a couple places here and get a little bit of activity going on here. Let's see. Bear with me. I haven't done a live stream in so long.
Welcome दोस्तों, welcome to the channel Knowledge.
That's not what I wanted. My channel. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Copy that. Ooh. Really? Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. What is this? That's not it. That's not it. I have no clue what the hell's going on here. Not gonna work either. Okay. Let's see. Is it not a bit of activity going on here? Not too sure. Now it should also, I should be able to, like, it's weird. So this is like a, obviously it's an iPhone Pro, but we should be able to see, look at that, it works. So I've got my action cam here, and then we just go back to like that. So pretty cool. I'm learning new things as I go along here. If somebody's watching, can somebody type in the chat? I want to see if this little thing shows me like your message as you type. Just like say hi, hello, and if you can share this in Facebook, because I can't for some reason log into Facebook. I reset my laptop, unfortunately, accidentally, and have not logged into things since then. So I'm unable to do that myself. I don't really know what to do there, because I'm trying to test. Tony, there we go. Let me see. I see that message. Let me see if it shows up on this thing here. Oh, there it is. I see it. Hello, Tony. You see. And you're about to see the assembly process of this as well. I'm excited. That's for sure. I do need a bearing housing now. I just don't know which one is for this side. I think it's this one right here. Yep. Okay. So guys, I have assembled these main bearing housings and put this together. This obviously is the part that, you know, the door opens and then goes up from there. So I've done this already, like off camera. I went live the other day, and let me grab a rag real quick. Thought I had one. But obviously I didn't. Let me turn this down as well. I did have it right. It's on the floor. Okay. Just clean this up a little bit. A little spray. Okay. It's definitely dirty. This is dusty more than anything else. But so I'll switch here to this view and show you guys. Look at that, beautiful. So this is the main bearing housing right here. Pretty, very nice. And you can see here there's two of these bearings right here, and these are, like I said, 2100 or 21,000 psi each. And there's two of them in there. So there is definitely a lot of potential for strength there, or it is strong. So gonna go ahead and assemble this, and if you guys have questions, type it. I'll answer them as I go. Just gonna kind of, get in my own groove here. I've never seen a bottle of Loctite this big in my life. I'm loving it. I go through Loctite like crazy. So this is kind of like, it's almost like cartoony to me to see a Loctite bottle this big. But listen, I go through it. It's not like I'm not going to use it. That's for damn sure. Tony, have you ever seen Loctite that big? Okay, where do I start? Oh, so had these parts obviously for about a week, almost a week. Off camera, I've been assembling. I've been thinking about making a video, wanting to make a video on the assembly process to let everybody know, hey, we've got them, they're here. It's just, as I was recording, I was discovering, hey, I myself don't really know what the hell I'm doing. I've never really assembled these things before. Obviously, my goal personally is to become an expert at the assembly process as well, just as I want to, better myself with the installation process. I feel like I'm pretty okay. I'm not too sure exactly what just happened there with that camera. We'll see if we can get it back. I guess we can't right this second. Let me unplug it here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I apologize. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Okay, there's that. That's not the right camera. Let me change this to, where is it? Where is it? I don't know what happened to it. It says it's connected. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, you have one of those big bottles? I definitely don't know what that is. Oh, that's like the up close zoom. Look at that. I didn't even know that I had this. But that gets like up close and personal. Look at that. Look at that eye. Where is the camera? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm trying to get the camera back, but it's not letting me. It's not finding it. So give me 1 second here. Yeah, I never knew that these big bottles even existed. I never knew. Had no clue. Let me see if this will work. Okay, so like the preview of it works. Okay, so there's this one. Just give me a second. Just trying to get the. I don't know why. Why did this has to happen? Like, I can't shut it down because that's not gonna be okay. So GoPro, FaceTime. No. Hold on. Well, that's not what I wanted to do on this camera, but I'll have to figure that out at a later time. But whatever. I don't know why it's having the issues it's having. But anyways, let's continue. So this is the main bearing housing. Like I said, I was doing these before off camera, learning how to do this. These are not the easiest things to do initially, mainly because there's like little washers. Like, when I say little, I mean like little. Like, you have no clue how little. Let me see if I can switch to... Oh, God. Let me see. Okay, I guess now that I know that does that, but let's see. Look at these. Look how thin these washers are. These are some thin guys right here. So, yeah, that's what they look like. Little teeny tiny washers. Anyways, a bunch of washers in both sides here, so it doesn't go, obviously go lateral. So this is solid, only goes the way it's supposed to go. Okay, so pretty simple. Pretty simple assembly process. On this part at least. Let's go ahead and do this. Knees this way. Oh, you can't see here. Okay. Okay. I definitely apologize for this horrible situation with the cameras. Get to use it. I've not opened this yet, so cut this off here. Yeah, I'm not sure what the hell. Oh, nice. It's got a little popper thing. That's cool. Okay, so Loctite. Put that there. Battery. What was the other drill? I'm sorry, but the other ratchet. Let's make sure we're going the right way. nuts in there. Goes that way. This goes. Let's see, this way. No, this is upside down. There we go. And take some more bolts. Let's see. Now we take the torque. Ooh. Let me get it on there first. And if you're wondering, torquing down to 70 psi. In the butt to get this up. Let's raise this. There we go. It's even worse now, getting this thing off. Goodness gracious. Thank you. Did you send anybody the link, Tony? Can you still hear me? So that's that. Now put this on. These are a different one. It takes 3 of these. What's up, Orlando? How's it going? I wish this one was for you. Can't wait to do that Z06. Cannot wait. Get that started in there. Normally I have gloves on. I just forgot. So I've been having some technical difficulties. Is the storms pretty bad still down there? Or are there still pretty bad storms down in Miami? Well, I mean, I've only been doing this for probably, let's see, maybe 5 minutes or so, 6 minutes, 8 minutes maybe, most. So the assembly doesn't take long. I mean, it's just, well, getting the damn socket out. There we go. Jesus. Nice. And that's pretty much a fully assembled frame side. And that's everything that goes, you know, here. Like I said, I wish this camera worked better. I don't understand why it's not. I really, really don't understand. Let's see if that helps. No. Let me see. Close this. Nope. Does not come up. I am Blue Flyer. I cannot wait to get out and get these installed. So there again, let me put this up again. I had a camera set up over here, and obviously I've got the mobile one that I can switch to here. Hello. So this is assembled. This, like I said, this is the frame part. So this part goes on the frame, bolts to the frame. So what we're going to do now is assemble the door side, which is right here. So we're going to marry that to this main frame right here. And then this kit will be the matching sister for the finished one right over there. So that's what we're doing right here on this. It's just kind of getting this assembled. Tony, you messaged me 1 second. Let me see. Are you, Blue Flyer, are you down in Miami as well? Jesus, Tony, 64,000. I think a 32-ton press is a little overkill. Jesus. But I see what you're talking about because it's got the gauge on it. I looked on there for those gauges, and I didn't see anything that has like the smaller numerical gauges. Everything's like 1 ton, 2 ton, 3 ton, 5 ton. I didn't find anything with like a gauge that has like 100 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds. If we can find something with that, then perfect. But unless we find that, then no, I guess that's not. I had ordered a bunch of these bolts, these little 5mm bolts for the kid, and like I had a brain fart, and I completely forgot where they go. Explain about the small bearings for when you. Okay, so these right here. Let me go to the mobile cam. So these guys right here are the small bearings. So what those go to is obviously inside here. So up in here, in both of these tabs, you're not going to be able to really see, kind of maybe. Let me switch to a different camera here. Let me get my high def cam. Okay. So in here, you'll kind of, I don't know if I can figure out how the hell this angle works. Where am I? Yeah, so in there, there's a bearing in there, and then up here on the top one, there's another bearing in there. And where the hell? Jesus Christ. This would have been so much better if this camera would not have weirded out. So those bearings are about 7,800 psi each one. On this, so when your door opens, obviously all the weight is obviously on those bearings right here, but the shock obviously is going to be assisting in, you know, putting that on there. But so that's the bearings there is what controls this. I mean, you can see without my hand how free flowing that is. I mean, it's just, I moved it with air. Yeah, I mean, just blowing it closes that. So I mean, it's so smooth, so smooth with its movements. And then obviously this bearing too is just effortless. I mean, it's nice. I do have to cut, so this is the piece right here. So this is the inner tube that will go inside this right here, and you can see this is, it's perfectly fit. There's no movement in here, but it doesn't matter because it gets sealed up against it anyways. But this, you can see the bearing. I mean, it's moving, just turning it. I mean, it takes no effort, no squeaky, no metal on metal. It's a completely sealed bearing. It's phenomenal. We're gonna cut this down because this gets pressed in here. So this gets pressed into this piece right here. Again, both T6, 6061. The whole kit is T6, 6061. They're in Maine. Ooh, nice. What's the weather like in Maine right now? Is it getting nicer? I feel like it's going to be a very long vacation. Keeps all the parts in place so the parts don't come out or apart. Well, hopes and prayers, basically. That's what keeps this thing together. Hopes and prayers, wishes. No, that's not true. So what's not done on this one yet is the set screws. So the other one, the finished one over here, has the set screws in it, and that's what these that I remembered that I ordered are the set screws. So everything matches. So all the bolts, obviously, especially the bolts or the screws that are visible, are coated. They're black oxide coated, so there's no rusting. Obviously, we did not use aluminum bolts, mainly for the shear strength. We wanted something that was a lot stronger. Not because it needed to be on a structural or an engineering standpoint, but more the better. Obviously, like this main bearing. This main bearing didn't have to be a 21,000 PSI bearing, but I wanted something that was going to stand up the test of time. And a general rule of thumb on the engineering side is if you over cushion on the limitation of the strength while also simultaneously using nowhere near the minimum rating for it, it's this bearing basically with the actual pressure that's on this bearing, it's not even going to know there's any pressure on it whatsoever. It has no clue that there's going to be anything on here, so it's never going to wear. It's a deep groove bearing already. Obviously stainless steel bearing itself. but it's completely sealed, so no moisture, no debris, none of that stuff can get in there. Can the doors be adjusted for height? Yes and no. They can and they can't. So what we have here, you'll see two holes on this right here. So technically speaking, that's the yes and no. The yes is it can, but the no is that we're not going to be doing it that way. They're going to go in one specific location, because as this turns, you'll see that this is the hole, which is the lower hole that it's going in, like the top of the shock. But as this turns to go up, you'll see that we're getting that height, right there, because that lower one becomes the higher one. So that's how we're maximizing, and that's how we're able to also destroy the current products on the market that are designed for the C8 as far as how high the doors go up. These doors go up so much higher than the vertical door branded kit, and there's a lot of reasons why. But one of the main things is I understand the idea behind the shock manufacturer saying, well, for certain types of pressure, certain types of this, you want to have the hinge point and the shock kind of almost perpendicular or, in line with it to mitigate a lot of the forces. Well, however, if you offset that by leverage point with lower pressure, you don't really have to worry about the extreme pressures of a closed door compressing there. Because look, for example, like it's what, 70, 65, 70, nice. I'm looking forward to the summer now because of this. Well, you can't see it, kind of. Where's my hand? But this, it's cold. It's getting chilly in here now. But we got a cooler in here, and it's perfect because in Arizona, 115 in the shop, it's gonna be hot. So this keeps it cold. But anyways, so the pressure of, let's say for example, our shock is a 500 psi shock. When it's compressed, there's more than 500 psi on the closed or the compressed shock itself as it's compressed down. So there's a lot of different mumbo jumbo that goes on with that, but I can assure you that it's perfect. But again, that's also why with this kit you get free shocks for life. We're not charging you for them ever. If they go wrong, if they fail, it's because of either the manufacturer. There was a defect from the manufacturing level of the shocks, which in that case we're going to obviously contact the manufacturer and say, hey, there's a defect in your kit. They're going to replace it for us for free because they want our business. Well, we're not a greedy company like other ones out there, and we're not going to charge you for that. We're just passing those savings on to our customers. So if we get them replaced for free, then so do you. That's only right and only fair. We're not in business to make money off of you 100 different ways. We're literally in business to do what we do best. And yes, we want to make money because we're a company and we have to, but that's it. I mean, nothing less and nothing more. We need what we need to stay in business, and that's it. So at least that's my philosophy. I hope that that's a fair philosophy, but let's get started on the cutting of this. So I'm going to take the mobile cam over to here once I get it plugged in, and we're going to cut. Already got this marked where this goes here. I'm going to set this down just for a second here. Should probably plug things in. Switch this. How many kits is available and ready to go? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe on the main bearing housings, which is this part right here. So this assembly, it's not just this. And I'll take you guys here in a minute and show you the individual parts. But this whole piece, this whole assembly, I've got about 28 of them, give or take, done. That's the most time-consuming part of this whole process. Obviously, I'm going slower because I'm also live streaming this assembly process, cutting these things. Obviously, these pieces will be cut in bulk as one just giant go, so they'll be basically stocked of these parts. So we take them, as you're about to see over here in the press, and we press them in, and then we secure them with some safety screws as well. Not because, again, we have to, but because we want to, just to press that in and to just make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. So let's go here, and we're going to press this in right now. But because that other camera is garbage and janked for some unknown reason, I'm going to go ahead and turn this way. And I guess you'll kind of see from this angle here. But once everything gets done and cut, then assembly literally is minutes. It's not long. Pressed in. Okay, so that's pressed in. Okay. So what we do here is we drill a hole through for security bolts, and that's also what these 5mm screws are also going to be used for as well, is one on both sides for this whole assembly itself. So there, one goes here on this top side right here, and then one goes down through here, and it basically just secures that whole thing together. And what we'll do is, I believe, this through here. No. Okay, so we'll drill this out as well. So that literally is like the longest part of everything. Like on this part of it at least. That is there. And now we tap it and then go from there. God, I so need a better tapping kit. One with a ratchet. That's what I really need. Well, actually, there's an electric one. It's like $300. I should just get that, if I'm being honest. Started. Where else is everybody from? Obviously, see it, Miami. Maine is beautiful. I can't wait to go to Maine. It's been a while since I've been up in Maine. I think the last time I've been in like the northern territories up there was last winter, I believe. It wasn't Maine. I think it was Connecticut. But oh my God, the snow. Like, it's a different kind of snow up there. Big, beautiful snow up there. Threads already made. I know, like, so, but the thing with those, like, Milwaukee makes those. They don't make them to go through this thick of material, half-inch material. But they do, there's a machine that I saw is, there's a machine that I saw that does them. It's what MetsFab has, which is the machine shop that did all of our cutting and machining of the parts, which is basically just hangs and comes down. You dip. I want to get one of those. I saw that online, like $300. It will just streamline our tapping process. But to be completely honest, some of these taps were supposed to be done by MetsFab and weren't. But these ones obviously were never ever part of that MetsFab deal. These were things that we do. It'd be kind of insane to think, and I even told Mike this at MetsFab, was like, obviously I'm not expecting to not have to do any work. Obviously our guys here will eventually take over all this stuff, especially once I start going out and getting and doing installs. So, so that's just inevitable that that's going to happen at some point in time, where they'll take over installations or assembly of things, and I'll get back out on the road for installations. Use the drill here. Yeah, I can't wait to be there. I'm not a huge fan of seafood, but But I do love the sea area. That's for sure. These ones over here. This would cooperate with me. Throwing stuff everywhere. Continually. There we go. That one is. Which one is it? Is it this one? Yeah. Where'd my adapter go? Oh, it's right here. Pull this one. Tighten that once the bolt gets through. Okay, so there's that. Now, let's marry these sons of things here. Okay. This one real quick. What's your favorite seafood? what's your favorite thing to eat? I'll just show you my aquarium. Fish are friends, not food to me. That's my belief. Like, I'm big into the saltwater aquarium, so. Grab my washers. Hey, Tony, are you still watching? Are you still there, Tony? I want to show you this Garolite thing. I don't know how much the delay is on here. Lobster. I don't have any lobster. There was my fish store that I normally get stuff from had it was like a blue, something like a blue lobster or something like that, like maybe like this big. And I wanted to, but I didn't. So this is the Garolite sheet. This is the Garolite, and those are the laser cut out. They're dirty. No. Sorry. So this is what I cut out with the laser. So they just pop right out. Just like so. And then the holes pop right out just like so. And there's a washer. And there's a ring. As you can see, it's just really dirty. And this is why I normally wear gloves. But they pop out right there. But yeah, it's this stuff's because it's that that flame retardant, like fireproof shit. It's just crazy. It's like it's flame retardant, fireproof, and I'm cutting it with a laser. It's crazy to think about, but nonetheless. So what I'll do here, so on this piece right here, this hub, this ring that I just popped out goes on like so. So you can see that on here just like so. And then also like so, you take this, lift up, put in, and that sits there. Now you'll notice here, and I'm going to switch the cameras again just so I can show you, this is where the precision is important for the cutting process of these things, is where this has to be flush to, it has to be at a certain position when it comes to this bearing right here. So it is beautiful where it's supposed to be at right now, but I will show you as I'm progressing here with this and assemble this. Pop this guy out. That's trash. We'll wipe this. So one side is a pretty side, and the other side is like, that's the ugly side of the Garolite. But that's just like the unfortunate side effect of the laser. I mean, I think the settings of it had to be at like 100, or no, I think I cut it at, I don't know what, like 80, I think 80% power. Yeah, it was like 80% power. But I mean, it's nice. Like it almost has like a carbon fiber effect, you know, carbon fiber look to it almost. Just a little dirty from the debris, but not too bad. No, this will never be greased. You'll never grease this kit, ever, never, not once. Never, ever, ever. Never, ever, ever will you grease this kit. So I'm going to take this and this. 2 of these. If I can reach them. Like I said, all me reaching would have been on that camera had it not went crazy. So again, I apologize. I'm going to flip the kit like this. Woo. Okay. this on here. Put it on the right way. That I can. No, it'll also never have to be adjusted like the vertical door kit either. There's gonna be a small window of where it will for the shock breaking in, but that's it. Once the shock breaks in, then no, there's no adjusting once it's set. And obviously that's a lot of speculation in of itself, where even the shock has to be will change for the break-in. As far as the tests that were done, no, there won't be any actual adjusting of anything here. Grab this and grab this. Everything looks to be in place. Okay. And that is a working kit. Just a few more minor things to put on here, but once I do that right now, that's it. So we'll do that as we speak. So I'm going to grab a ball, which is right here, a stud, which is right here. Basically, set it and forget it, yeah. Basically, wouldn't that be crazy if that fit? And of course it doesn't. Thanks, Mets Fab. Love you so much. Okay. This is the hole that was supposed to be tapped out by Mets Fab. So we were supposed to get these tapped from the manufacturing, and it wasn't. So but you know, no, I mean nothing as far as the wiggle goes. Nothing that's like crazy or out of the normal. The same as like probably the vertical door kit, I would say, because structurally speaking, there's not structurally much difference between this and the vertical door kit. So it's the same concept. You know, it's being held in the same positions or the same places. So there's gonna be that little bit of the wiggle, but that's about it. Should have did this first, if I'm being honest. Like I said, I've not assembled many of these. Like, this is my second one of the full kits that I've assembled. So we're learning together. Obviously, I'll get much faster at this as time goes on. As I do more of them, definitely get faster and quicker. this is a better angle to go after too. Do you need a large vice grip to hold your kit? I'm going to make like a mount. So like this will be bolted down. So as it's being assembled, like the frame will be bolted to like a, not necessarily a jig, but kind of like a jig in a sense. So nothing moves. Like I said, I mean, this all is a learning process for me. I'm having fun with it. I'm having fun with the learning process for sure. But yeah, it's like I said, things will get picked up, things will get faster, production will go much smoother as, you know, we start pumping more and more of these out, and as I do more and more of these kits. That's gonna be loud for a second. So only one side of this, which is the ball side, is going to be locked tight from the manufacturing side. So from our end, the production side, we're only going to lock tight the ball down, because the whole point of this ball is an adjustable stop. So once this hardens, obviously this ball is not going to come back off this at all. But this ball goes right in here, and the installation, like the installer will lock this down. As you see, I'm screwing this in here. So what this does, and you'll see, I'm just going to put it all the way down, is it prevents premature lift. So this is all the way open, so this is down. Like I'm trying, like I can't lift this up at all. Like nothing. I mean, it's touching it now. The vertical doors doesn't do that. But it comes up, and since it's the ball shape, it also comes back in. You see how that the door goes back in as well too, and that's what gives us our ability to get the doors tighter to the vehicle. So they are, if you haven't seen the video, the test fit video of installing the prototype kit, I encourage you to watch that. It's on our channel. I don't know, you're gonna see for the first time the actual total weight of this kit. I'm gonna do that actually right now. Let me grab the scale. So here's a scale. This is like, honestly, this is a world premiere. I'm learning this information with everyone. So I don't know, I don't have a vertical door kit, but I will tell you this. I know that the vertical door kits weigh just over 50 pounds. So, and that's complete kit. 50 pounds for a complete kit. This is minus the caps, which is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get one of these out. I'm going to put these guys on this kit as well, because this isn't finished. This is the last, right? Yeah, this is the last remaining piece. Well, no, the adjustment pin as well. I have to put that in. So let me get these. So here's one. I mauled it all up. When I touched it, and that's what these little tiny screws are. They go right here and screw this in. These won't be shipped this way with these caps on. These will be installed after, like when the installer shows up to do the install. This is what he'll do. He'll install this part. These will be in the welcome package. I'm just putting them on there so you can see what they look like, or what a finished kit will look like, I guess, when it's installed on your car. So what these do is, as you see, there's holes right here, top and bottom here, for this thing to be bolted to your car. Cool and nice looking. I'll pull this out because this is going first. I forgot. But the problem with it is kind of hideous. The way that the vertical door kits sit on your car don't look great. You know, I'm not talking crap, and that's not what I want to do about any one specifically person or company. But what I will say is this: it is so refreshing. Tony's probably like gritting his teeth right now, like, "Oh my God, Tim, don't do it." I'm not Tony. It is so refreshing though to not have to finally bite my tongue at just speaking truthfully and honestly about vertical doors, and not only the things that they did to us, which you'll see those in our series that are getting ready to be released, but also about like their design. It was a massive flaw in my opinion, and very ugly on the car. We're going to offer that at some point, the coloration, just not right now. Honestly, we unanimously, obviously the design, the prototype design, you see we had the black and it was black and yellow. The shock will still have yellow housing. This part was going to be yellow and everything else was black. Honestly, we love this brushed aluminum look. This looks nice. It looks snazzy. It's clean. It's aluminum, so it's not going to rust. It's not going to look like crap. And then it came down to like time. Like I have some samples of some things that we anodized. We had the whole anodizing station set up, and it's just a learning curve for sure, or to say the least, it's a learning curve. We decided as a company that it was best to just release this way because we truly like this brushed aluminum look. Honestly, we do. It looks good, and it's gonna stay nice looking on your car. You know, you're not worried about any of that stuff. And then down the road, we may offer, you know, the painting. But I've always said for years, you know, customers would ask like, "Hey, can you paint it the color of my car?" And I'm like, "You don't want to." The reason why I say you don't want to is because this gets bolted onto black. So if you're gonna paint it black. If anything, don't paint it the color of your car, because it's gonna look like black color, black, then car, and it just, in my opinion, it looks tacky. I think this will go good with pretty much any color, but that is a complete past the safety and then up. And just to give you an idea of how free-flowing that bearing is, that's just dangling there. You won't get that out of a vertical door kit. You don't get that. It's too gunked up and metal on metal. The grease is not good. It's yeah. But the last piece to do is the stopper for the adjustment pin, and I'm gonna do that right now. Except I don't know what size that was. I don't have my spec sheet in front of me, unfortunately, and I don't have it marked up on the actual thing. Let me switch here to the action cam. No, I don't have it up here. So this is kind of a sneak peek at the new design on this part here. This piece right here. No, this is what I'm looking at right here. So we make these as well. I just gotta get that. Let me see. Where is... Yeah. Lazo, or what? Lazaro. Yeah, you can't do that with the VDI kit. Way too tight. Way too tight. Okay, so let me measure this. See, this was the camera that was supposed to be working. Obviously, it is not. Let's get this zeroed out. And what was this guy? This one. 23. So let's call it 23. We're going to call it 23. Yeah, here's the laser. Under the fan right now, so I'm not going to move that. But I will show. Wow, I look weird. I will show you guys the caps for the customers that go on the cars. So when we do the installs, let me grab them real quick. They're right here. So these right here, this is, oh shit. This is this for a customer. Let me just come on show you. Steve Yandrick is the customer's name. So this is what we make. Let me wipe them up. They're dirty. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen some of our pictures where it has like the Eikon logo, then the doors are up. You'll see like the icon, and then it has like the warranty number, and then like who installed it. They write their name on there. Basically caps that cover where the door wires come out. All the wire and all your electrical comes out. We make our own caps that seal that. The seal's not necessarily to keep water completely out of it. The seal kind of partially does that. Really not going to get water in there anyways unless your car's submerged. The connectors are also waterproof-ish or water resistant. I don't know the proper way. But these are the caps that we make. So these go on the customer's door, and as you see, the thing here with these is that barcode down there, and we laser these out, and then we back them with the the double-sided tape. On that machine I just showed you, that's where these go. There's 2 of them for each car. What we do is once the order comes in, we take the acrylic, we load the laser, and then those etch out. But that barcode, everything's now on our new system. Everything is kind of tracked and scanned and kept together. So when you place an order, if you talk to someone in the office, like one of the sales girls or Jessica or whoever else may answer the phones, I have been kicked off of that. So these interactions are really going to be the only time anyone ever interacts with me personally or directly anymore, or unless I show up at your house for an installation. I have been removed from this company in the sense of upfront, direct, communication. I don't answer phones. I used to, here and there when I was in town. I'm not upset about it. I know why they did it. I know why it was done that way. And I can't say that I'm upset. It was done for a right reason. Look, I guess other videos that have came out, you guys know that we've had problems. And those problems have been basically because of me, and obviously personal problems then got into the business and affected the business. And it was very hard to come out of that alone and come out of that and do everything on my own. So it just was a lot of maturing, a lot of swallowing my pride, I guess, if I had that. Is there off the plug? Yeah, I mean, there's not, water's not going to really get back in there. It's tied up against that housing. That's why we put the angle that we do that in there. So it's not going to cause any issue whatsoever. And that plug is no longer there. So we've removed that anyway. So there's nothing, it's sealed. It's not 100% sealed. It's a car, I guess, in a sense. It's not a submarine. So it's no less than what it came with from the factory. Let's put it that way, I guess. But as I was saying is that, so we brought in the new CFO, Tony, who's in this chat right now, as well as Jessica, our new COO, who's not in the chat right now, I don't believe. If she is, say hello, Jessica. But I highly doubt she is. I don't see a count on how many people are watching either, so I don't know. I think, is it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But nonetheless, there's been a lot of problems. I've caused a lot of problems. I've been a part of a lot of problems, so I've been removed from that, which is good. So I am pretty much just YouTube now, and obviously installing and training people and new installers as well. So, but let's go ahead and get that spacer cut, or that half-inch round piece cut for the adapter, or for the vertical adjustment section. So we have a complete kit done at that point. I believe I've marked it at 23, but I don't know if I did, so I'm gonna look and see. So hold on one second. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Get that crap out of here. That crap out of the way. Need a different bit here. And I believe, yeah. So you can see how much actual, like, hands-on there really is to the assembly of this kit. But like I said, I mean, once I get in the swing of things, I'm not going to train our other installers or other assembly guys yet on how to do this, because I have a really big pet peeve with, like, looking like a fool. So I want to perfect this myself, where I don't hesitate on how to do this, how to do that. Like, I don't want any of those issues, like, coming up. So that's why you're not seeing a bunch of people or a bunch of, you know, staff or guys, you know, coming and doing this, is because I'm not there yet. Not there yet with everything. You know, it's discovering different things to do, how to do things, making tool jigs or anything like that that I need to do. All of that needs to be put in place first before I bring in, like, the staff and say, hey, this is how you assemble this. Shavings off me. Turn that up a little bit. Blow some cold air on it. Okay. So this is that piece. I'm gonna do the weight here in a second. So this is this piece that I cut out, or that I drilled out and machined out there. And you'll see where that goes here in a second. Take this, 16ths. Some oil on there. And we're just gonna thread this. But I just want to make sure that I have every single individual piece on here before I weigh it. I know that what's missing is like not even at full ounces, but you know, whatever. Just want to make sure that I have everything on here. Let's blow this out. Okay, good. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Hold on. Like, believe it or not, like doing it this way was so much easier and going to be so much easier than making a video on this. Definitely did not want to do it that way. Thought I had grabbed that bolt, but I guess I did not. Thread this on here. Take this, shove this on here, like so. See, and I just shrunk that on there. Take my blade. Oh, there goes the heat gun. There you go. So let that cool down a little bit. Unscrew it. What is the difference? Oh, where to begin? I mean, honestly, there's so many differences. Obviously, our kit uses real bearings. Theirs does not. That's a huge difference, and that's a huge game changer as well. Exactly. I like this Lazaro. He understands. He gets it. The thing is, Lazaro, is that how I say it? Am I messing it up? Is it Lazaro? Is that how I pronounce it? I have been saying this to them for a long time. A long time. You would think that they would listen. Nope. No listening. So, it is what it is, unfortunately. You don't want to listen? Then be prepared. Laz? Okay, yeah, Laz, alright. I'm all for shorter. I'm all for shorter and easier. So, now, got the space in here, right? Spin this off here. There we go. So all I'm trying to do is, obviously, because I'm assembling these things, so this isn't just like a whatever. I need to get the setting right and then lock it in place, because this is actually going to be installed probably tomorrow. So it's very important. Very important that this gets done and installed the right way. For the installation process. Put this out. Let's explain the difference with respect to the metal we use for HPV. Okay, so vertical doors uses what's called a mild grade carbon steel. Mild grade carbon steel is like your cheap run-of-the-mill, just cheap steel. It's when you hear your friends, or if you hear someone say, yeah, I'll do this out of cheap steel, that's a vertical door steel. Mild low grade carbon steel. The difference between this is billet T6 6061 aluminum. So as you can see here, I mean, these are just, I'm holding this up literally with one finger. There was no way in hell I can do that with vertical doors, like at all. And plus I'm lifting it with one finger. So we're gonna get now, for the first time ever, a weight. So let's change this, okay, to pound. Ready? Here we go. Let me see some guesses. I wanna see some guesses in the comments. How much do you think this complete kit weighs? I'll give you some time to get your guesses in. Winner gets a free kit. No. That'd be nice. That's the point of YouTube eventually, but not yet. No. Winner gets a guarantee me coming to do your installation. Yes, aerospace materials. It's an aerospace grade aluminum. The future kits may or may not be T7075. I have not decided yet, because they don't need to be 7075, but that's even better. That's space grade. Yeah. So I got 7 pounds, 5. Wow, so light. That's really light. Ooh, Laz, and you're with the more realistic, I guess. Closer. Well, I guess maybe. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna switch so there's no foolery, trickery, or anything like that. I'm gonna switch to this camera. We got 6 pounds. Okay. Are there any more guesses? I'll give it one more minute. I will say this. I wasn't expecting it. I will say that. Man, Tony, this is... wow. Okay, here we go. I'm going to switch over to the cameras. And... boom. Alright, ready? 4 pounds. No, okay, let's see. We got 9 pounds and 3.5 ounces. 9 pounds, 3.5 ounces. Nothing holding it up. There's no trickery going on. That is insane to me that it's only 9 pounds. 9 pounds. 9 pounds. So yes, so to kind of touch base, man, I wish that the camera was working. As you can see here in this area right there, okay, obviously as the door's up, you have a much larger surface area on that much larger plate right here. And that holds it up. So as we adjust it to raise that door up from the position, that's going to set and it's never going to move in. So the issue with vertical doors is kits that I will say, yeah, it's going to be about 10 or so with the shock probably. I'm not too sure the weight of the shock because the shocks are also steel, so they are heavier. But I have a shock. Shock. Let's see what the shock weighs. Oh. Literally 1 pound exactly. 1 pound exactly. Well, 0.65 ounces, but yeah, 1 pound. So not bad. Not bad. Yeah, with the VDI kit you can you can struggle to do curls. But this is just amazing. But yeah, so up, this contact point is a 1/2 inch round. We were gonna do a 1 inch. There's just really no reason for it. And the testing and the simulations on Fusion 360, I tested this with about 5 times more weight than what will ever be on this part of this, and over and over and over in the impact. The only thing that obviously will wear a little bit is the rubber casing on it, but that's only on the impact zone. Once that kind of tears away, but this stuff is a different material, so it's not just rubber. It's kind of a version of what this ball's made out of. I can't remember the name of that either. But this, nothing. I mean, this just glides, on this. So it's not metal on metal. This will also, unlike the VDI kit, will not create that groove. You're not going to grind the groove into the door itself, so you're not going to have that basically a rust pot where you're grooving into steel with steel, and then say for example, and I've seen this. I'm only saying this because I've seen this over the years of doing this. Is your car sitting for a while, you're on vacation for a couple weeks, and it literally rusts and oxidizes together, and obviously you can break it with your strength, but yeah, so it's insane what I've seen from Vertical Doors' kits, but it's also mainly because steel. But yeah, so this is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me grab this one. This is the first time 2 kits have ever been together. But look at that. Look how perfect those pieces in the middle line up. Again, Vertical Doors kits are not perfectly level like that at all. It's crazy. It is insane the differences here. Let's see if I can grab it from the top. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. There. That's a picture right there. That is a picture right there. That is beautiful. I have to say so myself. That looks beautiful. It's like I'm Aquaman with There would never in a million years, if this was a vertical door kit, 2 vertical doors kits doing this, you're out of your mind. Especially going sideways. That Well, that's some forearm strength there, but woo, that's a weapon. That is a weapon. That is a beautiful weapon, but that is a weapon. Well, looks like a heart, right? It is. Oh, that's a good thing. Like Eikon, the V1, the heart of your ride, the heart of your vertical. Somebody better design that and make that. The V1, the heart of your Lambo doors. I like that, yeah. So, what do you guys think of the looks? Does it look good? Is it pretty? I said, but I'm just obviously potentially biased as well, is I said when I installed this prototype, I was like, it's a shame that this has to be covered up by the fender, because on the car this looks gorgeous. But again, I'm biased. I designed it. But what do you guys think? Does it look nice? Get some B-roll finish. Nice vape effect on it. I also want to say, and I think this is a huge, huge kicker, is we're using the factory hardware. And that is unheard of. No other kit does that. So we have managed to retain and use the factory hardware that your car comes with. Again, no other kit does that. And the other thing too, not necessarily saying that this is a selling point, but what I do want to say is that obviously underneath these caps, let me just take this one off. Hold on. So I'm going to remove one of these caps down here. So you can see these flush mounted bolts right here. Now these bolts have a tensile strength of, I believe it was 93,000 pounds. They're 93,000 psi tensile strength, shear strength of these bolts. Obviously not going anywhere. Again, this isn't a selling point, I'm just saying it just to talk about it, is that let's just hypothetical scenario, which has happened a lot, is a lot of our customers want to get their car wrapped and they don't necessarily tell us up front that they're going to have their car wrapped. Not every shop does this, but some do. The good shops, like the really, really good wrappers, they'll remove the doors from your car. So if you guys are going to get your car wrapped or plan on getting your C8 wrapped, make sure you ask them, are you going to take the doors off of the car? If they say yes, then we would always recommend getting the car wrapped first, and then we'll do the doors. However, now with that being said, is we're still recommending that, because if you take these off yourself, you're voiding your warranty. We'll come back out, we'll take them off. There's going to be a small surcharge if we're just doing it for, you know, like a luxury item, or you want us to come back to remove them and put them back on for whatever reason. That part's not free. That's not covered in your warranty. If there's an issue, that's covered in your warranty for sure. But we're just up front. We'll tell you, get your car wrapped first. But at least it makes it easier for us if we have to come back out and remove them and you want to get them wrapped, is I had the video, I can definitely see the difference. Yeah, big difference, right? Not according to them. According to them, we ripped them off, but whatever. Because of how I designed this way, is this back plate right here, as you can see the holes, this back plate stays on your car. We can remove this kit without removing that back plate. This back plate is detrimental to the alignment of this whole overall kit. But these flush mounted bolts is what makes that and gives us that ability to do that, because we can remove these two bolts and pull the kit completely off the car while leaving this back plate on. So when we go back to redo it, all we're doing is bolting this back on, and anyone literally can bolt this back on, and the bolt because they're flush mount, they're just going to suck it back into the perfect alignment place and position. The reason why we can't do that on the door side is primarily because of, let me see what this is. The reason why we can't do this on the door side is because every single car, what's up, Ronald Burton, Mr. Burton? So the reason why we can't do it on the door side is because every single one of the C8s are different. The alignment's different in different positions. So we can't do that because they're obviously, like I said, they're different. But nonetheless, the door side, there's a slight angle in this. Let's see. I don't know if you'll be able to see or not, but there's a slight angle in this position. I don't know if you can see, if I can get the camera. So you see this top piece right here, the angle that's in that. If I can hold this up. That is what's very, very important, obviously, to make sure the door's sucked and tucked in. We have increased that angle slightly, just a little bit slightly. My issue that I had with the vertical door kits also, among many things, was that because, and this is just my opinion on it, okay, so this is how it would be if it's on the car. Obviously, doors open up, so this is door open up regularly, and then you lift, and the door goes up. Come back down, go back in. Up, down, and in. Now you hear that noise? You wouldn't hear, it doesn't sound like that on the vertical door kit. That's sturdiness. That's solidness. And the kits are solid, but not like this. They're definitely not smooth like this, that's for sure. But I forgot what I was saying now. So I'll put this cap back on here. But anyways, yeah, so that was a design thing that was important to me, to be able to install this, and then if we ever have to take it off for whatever reason, that we don't have to go back and forth with readjusting, realigning. It should all be perfect at that point. These will actually be more functional. Yeah, well, the bearing makes a huge difference, but it's also the placement. The biggest difference here, because like I said, I tested it. I've installed this obviously on a car already. The biggest difference is completely changed the location of the shock. So I don't remember and I don't recall the technical terms, so bear with me. I'm gonna say it in stupidity terms, mainly because that's the only terms that I really know, is dumb terms. If this is the bearing and this is the shock that goes up and down, vertical doors is, when the door's down, is almost positioned almost directly parallel underneath the fixed point. Now, I'm not saying that that's necessarily wrong, because it's technically not. It really is spec'd that way, and the theoretical design behind the shock is you want to maximize rigidity of a lot of different things, and it's also like pressure alleviating and things like that. I can't remember again the technical terms, but what I've done is I've lowered the pressure required for the shock to push up by basically taking that shock and taking it from a 90-degree angle and putting a slight slant on that shock. So what it's doing is, from already the moment that it's down, like, that's why your doors don't fling up, when with the vertical door kits. They'll open and they won't slide up. This, on the other hand, will want to go up immediately. Not necessarily to the point where you're fighting it and holding it down, because that's on us to, and that's what we're going to be doing this coming week or so, is getting this installed. This is going to be installed tomorrow. I'm going to probably go live again tomorrow with the actual installation of it, if I can get the GoPros to work right. But because of the angle and the shock, it wants to push. And the dampening that we have inside the shock, and the internals in the shock that we chose to go with, it really kind of mimics like zero gravity. So If you watch that video, it's on our channel. I think the title of that video is V1 kit finally finished or finally installed, the prototype or something like that. You'll see me lift it and close it with a pinky. And truth be told, I think I mentioned in that video, I let too much air out, so it's not even that shock that's on there isn't the final set or the perfect pressured shock either. Obviously, the shocks that we've got coming that should be here this week are going to be tuned in and dialed in perfect. So we'll get the exact pressure that we need to give the functionality that we want. So that's the goal. The goal is we want this, instead of how vertical doors sets their shocks, and again, a lot of it's dictated by the positioning of the shock and the placement of their shock, but it's like vertical doors adjust their PSI for holding the door up, and that's really the only thing they care about. They want to make sure that when the shock settles and breaks in, there's still tons of pressure to hold the door up. They don't really care about how difficult it is to pull down. And a lot of you know that have had their kit on your car, it is difficult to pull down, especially from the seated position. And you got to keep in mind too, and this is what we had to keep in mind, is I think a lot of people think that we do a lot of younger kids' cars. I've been doing this for 20 some odd years, 22, 23 years. I've never touched a Honda. I have never put doors on a Honda Civic. And for some reason, the younger crowd always thinks that, you're doing nothing but rice out cars. It's like, no. Our average clientele for this company, I would say, starts at around 50 to 55 years old and goes up from there. So our clientele are people that are doing this modification not because it looks cool or they're trying to have a Lamborghini. Like, everyone knows, anyone with a half a brain knows that if they want a Lamborghini, they'll buy a Lamborghini. You don't have to say those condescending remarks and comments that you'll see on social media. You're trying to be something that you're not. No, I don't think people are. We've never sold this modification with the pretense of, hey, if you can't afford a Lamborghini, then pretend that you have a Lamborghini. It's not what it is. Our clientele are generally more of the older clientele. So A, financially more stable, but B, and this is the main focus, is a lot of them have mobility issues. I'm almost 40 and I have mobility issues. I have a very bad back. I have a fused SI joint, not medically fused, just an injury and it fused in the healing process. So like, I struggle as well getting from a seated position and up, and then the bending of the knees. When you lift your door all the way up in the air, you can swing your legs in and out so much easier. And I've been on installs with people, and I've had tons of potential customers show up at installs that I've been doing, because we used to post on social media that, hey, I'm in town, if you want to come see this in person, check it out, send us a message. I started doing that a long time ago. I stopped doing that a long time ago because as we grew in popularity, we're getting more and more people that were like responding to that. And then there was a lot more haters that would just want to come. They'd pretend like, whatever, but then they'd come and like razz the customer or just talk shit about, again, pretending to be a Lamborghini when that's not what anyone's trying to do. So we stopped doing that. We may bring that back to some degree. I'm not too sure. But I can't tell you how, just lazy. The easier the better. And it's true. It's the benefit, is it looks cool, for sure. But there's so many more real world benefits as to why you put vertical doors on your car, and mobility purposes is the significant reason why. At least that's what we push. That's what we've always kind of mentioned. We've never mentioned the fact that it looks cool, because I think that's a no-brainer. Is we all know it looks cool. And let's be completely honest, the C8 is a badass looking car. Yeah, some people will have their opinions on what could be better. I think that the C8's gorgeous from the side and from the front, but the rear, that could have been better, in my opinion. They could have focused more on the rounded taillights, not the Camaro-esque type taillights, and but again, it looks very narrow from the back and very, short from the back. I think it needed a big ass. You look at every other exotic, and it's a big butt. Just like the C5 and I think it's C5 and C6. C6, in my opinion, and maybe the C7 have the most beautiful ass on any Corvette. The C8, not so much, in my opinion. That's just my preference. But I think I put a video. I did a C7 and a C8 at the same time, and we held the C7 bumper up in front of the whatever. I know. It's done. The kit's done. So this is a complete kit. There's nothing else to do. I'm not installing it. It's 9 o'clock at night here. I'm not installing it on the car tonight. We'll probably tomorrow for sure. At least strip the car down. I've already stripped half of it down a few weeks ago. That's the same C8 that I installed the prototype on. So half the car is already prepped and cut, modified, and just waiting for the installation. But without the actual final shocks being here, I can't really install it with the shocks. But the kit will be installed on the car for sure, and we'll see how they handle with the final welds and everything else. So I'm excited. This has been a long time coming. This has been a very long time coming. But let me show you parts real quick while I'm rambling. I can be more useful, I guess. Let me take a drink first. Mr. Burton, are you still here? Laz, what did you have them on? Did you have the doors on your C8 or a different kind of car? I think we're going to customize the caps too. I'm not going to talk about that. Well, that's a different video. Okay, let's go see. Oh, it's C8, yeah. All right, let's flip this around. Okay. It's obviously hardware for everything. Oh god, let's step on the damn. So these are parts. These are left and right main bearing housings. The parts. So you can see here. That's where those washers go. They're not washers. That's where the bearings press into. So there's bearings that get pressed into these. What? I'm not even showing you. Sorry. So right here, the bearings get pressed in those areas right there, and that's what holds the main bearing housing together. So go over here and show you the rest of parts. Main bearing housings. This is a thing of been on the different caps. There's more there, obviously. These are frame sides, lefts and rights, tons of them, and various different pieces for the assembly as well down here. And these are all of the main bearing housings themselves. See here, all lefts and rights. There's there was another box of them. Moving from inventory, but unless there wasn't all in the box. And then tons of different, and these are all full lefts and rights as well. Some assembled, as you see here. And some more. So this was our attempt at standardizing, which was horrible. Trash. Same here, main bearing housings. Attempt at anodizing them. That was orange, side yellow. But failed attempts there. Getting that. And that's why we're not anodizing. It's just the hassle, the time consuming aspects of the anodizing process. Not worth it. Not worth it. So, other than that, I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to go spend some time with the wife and the kid. It's plural. And I look forward to seeing you guys later. take the microphone with you. What? Could you not hear me the whole time? I think the mic was on the computer. I'm going to make sure that I get the technical specs, the technical part of the recording and filming and streaming stuff done. I'm not a streamer. I'm a half-ass YouTuber. I'm not even not even good at that. It's a mess. There's so much going on. But 2 kits done. 1 complete kit done. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, there's a bunch of parts. I'll talk over. There's a bunch of parts, and yeah. So this, obviously, I showed you. Main bearing housing goes there. I don't know where a piece is. No, it was. Oh, here's one, I guess. This one is a testing one, not a testing one, but this goes in here. I won't be able to because of that, but yeah, I can't get it in there now because that rod is there. But yeah, so this has all just been kind of learning and messing around and figuring out the best process of assembly. No, Laz, my pleasure. There's going to be more to come, obviously now, thankfully. The shock will connect here and here. So it's an elbow joint that goes in here and here. So you can already see that the angle is, I can't do it backwards, but the vertical door shock would be more straight up underneath where the bearing part would be, but they don't use a bearing, so you'll see that very, very soon. I want, as Tony and I have talked about, it's going to just be a shock issue to come down this weekend or by the weekend and get a bunch of the Miami Club members installed, especially the Z06. Because as of right now, I don't think there's been a Z06 installed yet in the world with vertical doors, and obviously, if I could be the first to do that, then that'd be epic. The first Z06 with vertical doors, and it's an Eikon kit. That's a big deal, at least to me. I think in my head, I think Eikon's bigger than what it is. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't think it is, but I don't know. Yeah, me neither. Well, once, like I said, tomorrow, the next day, I will do something, whether it's a video or a live stream of the install on the C8 that's right outside the garage right there. And, yeah. Until next time, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. I know it was a long video, a lot longer than I was anticipating, but I think there was a lot of information, good information that was said. You guys had good questions. Until next time, please like, subscribe, share, I guess. And I will see you guys again on the next one. All right, guys, have a good night.